What's going on, guys? We are back in, and finally, we are going to be talking about the brand new installment to the Predator franchise. We are going to be talking about Prey. So, if you guys have not seen Prey, it is on Hulu right now. If you have it, go subscribe, go check it out. Um, is it worth a watch? Again, that is your own, I would say, clarification. Overall, the movie kind of felt up and down for me personally, and I'm going to go into the reason why. Now, overall, what is this movie about? This is back in 1715, where we have a Comanche warrior who is played by Amber Midthunder, and apparently, this is true that this was an all Native American cast for the most part, which I was very surprised on, and I think they need to get more Native American men and women to play roles that are shown for Native American stories. But at the same time, we have where she comes in contact with the Predator later on in the story, and she's in the process of wanting to be a hunter, and she wants to be respected as a hunter. Now, she tries to do a whole bunch of different things, but she keeps messing up, and her brother is like the high warrior, he wants to be the main guy, and she wants to have that spot. But at the same time, she comes in contact with the Predator because this is the first time the Predator has come on Earth. Now, this is getting praised by a lot of people, by different sites, and honestly, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but there's been a lot of other issues that I've seen. Now, again, a lot of people are probably not going to notice this. Was the CGI the best in this film? No, it was not. The graphics was very low-key. It wasn't like your best like other Predator movies. You know what I mean? It was where it could have been 10 times better because it was very interesting. It was where the animals didn't look as real as you would think. Sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't. Other people said it didn't. I personally thought it did to a certain degree. The Predator looked really weird, like in its normal state, because honestly, I thought that I'm like, wait a minute, that don't really look like the Predator, even though it does. But again, this is like the first time that's been on Earth, so supposedly maybe it could be a little different. Now, I felt like within the first like 35 minutes, and a lot of people have been saying this, it kind of drags on. There was really no acting in here, so the acting wasn't that good. It was more of a silent movie because it's more basically, I feel like it is based on the Native American side of the story, which is not a bad thing, but at the same time, you're trying to build up, but at the same time, you're losing your audience if they don't care about that, or they care about it, but at the same time, this is a Predator movie. That we are here to see the Predator. We are here to see this alien species kill and hunt different animals and everything. And again, if this was the first time the Predator was on Earth, they were looking for a prey. He goes after a snake, it's not enough. He goes after a wolf, it's not enough. Then he goes after a bear. That was a good scene, with the blood going on dripping, and then going after, any Native Americans that he could find as a worthy adversary. Now, again, there were certain things about the movie I did enjoy. I enjoyed the Native American aspect. I enjoyed the whole trying to outsmart the Predator, which again she does. A lot of people are like, "Oh well, how did she kill him so easily?" and all this. It's called she outsmarted him, which again I am in very. I'm for it, like she outsmarted him. She did, and that's what a lot of people are having issues with, is that she outsmarted him. Now, it's like, oh well, people are saying this movie is woke. I don't consider this movie to be woke. To me, they didn't really give a reason to show why it was woke, if people are saying that, because it wasn't. Because how do we know this did not happen back in the day on a aspect where a Native American woman did not want to just stay at home and have children and raise the children and pick the crops and everything of that nature and take care of the home. Maybe she wanted to go be a hunter. I mean, there are stories about that from different ones that I know personally that are Native American, or I've talked to different Native American women or Native American men that know the stories like this from different ancestors or different family friends of theirs. So again, this is possible, and there are badass female characters in a story, such as like Sarah Connor, Ripley from Alien. So again, it's possible. So anyone that needs to say, oh, that this this was woke, it ain't really woke. It's just, again, I feel like the CGI could have been 10 times better. I feel like the Predator could have looked a little bit better, in my opinion. I think think that honestly, out of all the Predator movies, Predator 1 is going to be my favorite. Predator 2 is going to be another classic, and then Predators. And I'm going to get into other movies later on. I'm going to do another Predator video of what I find is the best to the least, and I'll do that at some point. But overall, Prey, was it a good movie? Was it an okay movie? Was it a horrible movie? Again, that is your own opinion. Would I go back and watch this? Yes, I would go back and watch it, but I think I would skip like half the film and just get to the part with the Predator, because that's really when it starts. And I think that's what kind of hurt this film, was they were wanting to show too much of Naru, and they were showing less of the Predator. And when they showed less of the Predator, they were showing like it didn't make sense. It just, the way that they kept going about it was like they made it look like the Predator was weak, even though it was not weak. It was very strong. The Predator in an up straight fight, you're not going to win against. And in a way, she kind of did, even though it was beaten down from everything, from getting shot, from getting stabbed, from getting arrows in it, and everything of that nature. It is going to be worn down, but at the same time, it just felt like the Predator went down just a little bit too easy. But at the same time, in any kind of Predator movie, if a human is going to go up against the Predator, they're going to have to outsmart. That's just point blank. You're not going to get away from that. The Predator has to be outsmart, because if it's not, it's going to kill you. Now, again, my favorite scenes in this film is probably between the bear scene, the last fight scene, and then the scene where, again, spoilers if you have not seen the film, where the Predator is just slaughtering an entire French camp. And he's just slaughtering the hell out of them. And that showed the brutality of how strong and crazy a Predator can be. And it's true. Now, this does kind of go into the second Predator film, where, if you remember, Danny Glover got a old pistol from back in the day, old Colt pistol. Now, or a flintlock pistol, I should say. Now, it will show that possibly, and it does show the gun in a way. Now, I don't know if there's going to be more reference. There is a lot of rumors to a second film there, especially with the way it ended with a mid-credit scene with a lot of Predator ships going towards Earth. Now, again, could this be in the very first Predator? Again, it could have been. The mask was not as high tech as what we've seen in previous Predator films. Some of the other tech was new, and I liked it. I mean, I liked the new tech. It was very interesting. I love, again, guys, I love Predator. I love the Predator lore. I love the species of the Predator. I love everything about the Predator. I mean, I've always been interested in it ever since it was introduced in the late 80s, but again, Predator just does not have a very good, I would say, they don't have a good direction. And I think that they're trying to reboot it with this, and if they are, then okay, but they need to just try a little harder, and they need to focus on certain things. That way they can gather all Predator fans and go, okay, hey, look, we know you guys love Predator, we know you miss Predator, here you go. And I know that's what they were trying to do, but at the same time, I just felt like they missed the mark a little bit. But that's my own personal opinion. But overall, what did you guys think of Prey? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it horrible? Me personally, I think it was an alright film. Would I watch it again? Yes. But would I watch this over the Predator of 2018? Yes, I would. I'd watch this over that one. That just shows how shitty that movie was. Because again, I'm sorry, I don't care what anyone says. An autistic kid is not going to be able to handle alien technology. I'm sorry. And then have an alien suit at the end. Come on, dude. That just looks stupid. But overall, let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments. And I'm going to be doing another Predator video at some later given point. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.